One, scene two, action.
Calpurnia!
Peace, ho. Caesar speaks.
Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way, when he doth run his course. Antonius!
Either, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia. For the older elders say, the barren touch in this holy chase shake off their sterile course.
I shall remember. When Caesar says, do this, it is performed.
Set on, and leave no ceremony after.
Caesar!
Huh? Who come? Huh?
Bid every noise be still. Peace yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue, shriller than all the music. Cry, Caesar, speak. Caesar has turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of Mars!
What man is that? What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of Mars.
Send him before me. Let me see his face.
Yellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of Mars!
Ha! He is a dreamer. Let us leave him pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of the quick spirit that is Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do absorb you now late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late passion of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which gives some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends is grieved among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect. Then on my poor Brutus, with himself at war, forget the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy conjurations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye see not itself, but my reflection by some other things.
'Tis just, it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning underneath this aged yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that would have me seek into myself, for which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear, and since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of. And be not jealous of me, gentle Brutus, were I a common flower, or did use to steal with ordinary oath my love to every new foster. If you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard, and after scandal them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting to all rout, then hold me dangerous.
What means the shouting I do hear? The people choose Caesar for their king?
Aye, do you fear it? That must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor on the eye, and death eye the other. And I will look on both differently, for let us God so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I know that you are a word favor. But honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be as live to be in awe of such a thing as myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber shafting with her shore, Caesar said to me, Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood, and swim to your yonder point. Upon the word Accosted as I was, I plunged in and bade him to follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it, with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive, the point proposed. Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink. I, as Asthenius, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Angius bear, so from the waves of timber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man is now becoming a god, and Cassius, a wretched creature, as must bend his body carelessly but not on him, and had a fever when he was in Spain. And when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake, his coward lips did from their color fly. And that same eye, whose bend doth awe the world, did lose his luster. I did hear him groan. Aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speechless in their books. Alas, it cried, give me some drink, Tithnius. As a sick girl, ye gods, and doth amaze me. A man of such feeble temper should so get the start of majestic world, and bear the palm alone."
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some now honors that appeal to Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colonist, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep upon to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar, what should be in that, Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is a fair name. Sound them, it doth come the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy, conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now in the names of all the gods at once upon what men doth our Caesar feed, that is grown so great, age thou shame. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. Went thou by an age since the great flood. But it was famed with more than with one man. When could they say till now that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed by one man? Now it is Rome indeed, and room enough when there is but one manly man. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once that would have broke the internal devil to keep his state in room as easily as king.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What would you work me to? I have some aim. How I have thought of this in these times, I shall re-encounter hereafter. For this present I would not. So with love I might entreat you by your further mood. What you have said I will consider. What you have to say I will with patience hear, and find a time both me to hear the answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself on the son of Rome. Under these hard conditions as this time is like to play upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck, but thus must show a fire from Brutus.
Thank you.
All right, we're done.